All right, good morning, everybody. Today we're gonna just take it a little bit on the slow side. You're gonna want your strap. I think we're gonna start laying down and have your strap with you and take a moment just to put it in a nice big loop. We played with a big strap last week and or last class, we're gonna do a little bit more of that. So let's start there and then go ahead and lay down on your back. How's that for a sigh? Holy moly. And let your hands rest on your belly. Your feet are on the floor. If it's comfortable, take your knees wide, or sorry, your feet wide and your knees together. And then spread out through the shoulders. Find the back of your skull so that your chin is not raised up, nor is it tucked down. And just pause for a moment here. Kind of let your back settle, let your sacrum press gently to the floor, and maybe even feel the weight behind each shoulder and see if you can equalize the weight in the back shoulders. And then start very gently by tapping into your breath, taking that nice deep inhale and the exhale. Inhaling through the nose. Exhaling either through nose or through mouth. Good. And again, inhaling. Exhaling. And as you inhale, feel your belly move up into your hands that are resting on your belly. So feel that belly expand as if you were filling up a balloon. And as you exhale, the belly falls back toward the floor. And more. Good. Last breath here. And exhale it. And then let the feet come together and the knees out to the sides. Notice the lower back. If you feel like you're overarching, you know what to do, right? We lengthen through the tailbone, we lengthen through the low mid back, and we find a place that feels comfortable. Your hands can either rest on the inner thighs or they can stay right at the belly. And just feel those soles of the feet together. Maybe you can feel your toes touching, shoulders are still wide. And as you inhale, you don't have to bring the knees all the way up, but just bring them towards center. And as you exhale, let the knees fall out to the sides. Inhale, let the knees float up. Exhale, let them float out. Good. 3 more right here. Float them in. Exhale them out. 2 more. Exhaling. Good. Last one. Float them in. Exhale, float them out. And just let them hold. Release your hands from the belly and take your arms into Cactus Pose. And then press down through the lower belly, just gently here. We're opening up the body. See if you can let the legs relax even more. Let them be super, super heavy. No big deal, right? We're just letting gravity take the legs. We're letting gravity take the arms. And then start to take the left arm and the left knee across until your knee and your arm are on top of the other. And then open it up. Come back to that neutral. We're doing 3 on one side. Bring the knee across, bring the arm across. Maybe you look down at your mat with your head. So I've actually got my head lifted a little bit, and then open it. Good, one more. Bring them across. You're over on your side. Maybe you take the head into rotation and then open it up. Pause there and then go to the other side. Right knee, right arm curls up. Maybe you look down on your mat and then open it up. Good. As you inhale, close it, or as you exhale, close it. And then inhale, open it. Good. Last one. Curl it over. And open it up. Pause again here in this Badakanasana. Press the soles of the feet together and see if you can lift your hips a couple of inches off the floor. Just squeeze the feet together. Press through the feet. If you cannot lift your hips, don't worry about it. Just use the muscle, use the action, right? To get those hips off the floor. Hold here for 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, and lower those hips. Bring the knees together. Good job, everybody. We've got one more exercise here. So instead of the feet being together, I want you to separate the feet hips width apart, not too wide, okay? And then let the knees come out again to the sides. Find your breath here. As you're ready, I want you to press into those pinky sides of your feet. Lift your hips. As you exhale, bring the knees back so they're pointing straight ahead, straight up to the ceiling, and lower the hips down. Open up the knees. Lift your hips. Bring the knees back to neutral and lower down. Good. Few more. Open the knees. Lift the hips. Bring the knees back to neutral and lower down. 2 more. Open them up. Squeeze up. Squeeze the knees back to neutral and lower down. Last one. Out to the sides. Press up. Bring the knees to neutral. Feet are flat and lower down. Good job, everybody. Both knees to chest. Squeeze the knees in, hold on to your right knee, stretch your left leg nice and long, all the way down to the floor, and then smooth out your left thigh, right? We're gonna get that nice and grounded, and feel your back. As that knee gets closer to chest, your back kind of rounds. And as the knee moves away, the back goes through neutral and then actually arches a little bit, right? So bring the knee in toward chest and then press the knee away. This is still really gentle work here. Bring it in, excuse me, and press away. Last one, bring that knee in, press the knee away, and then draw your knee to chest. Bring your left leg in. Goodness gracious. And press your right leg straight out. So here we are again. I'm smoothing out the right thigh. I want that leg nice and grounded. My hand is behind my left knee. I didn't say that on the other side. Draw the knee in and feel the little bit of rounding of the back, and then press the leg away to feel a little arch. Good. Bring it in and out. 3 more. Bring it in and just kind of tap into the hips. Press it out. 2 more. And out. Good. Last one. Press it in and press it out. And then draw that knee to chest. Draw your other knee to chest, both hands behind both knees. As you bring the knees closer to chest, you round. As you press them out, I'm barely holding on. The back arches. Good. Press them in and out. Good. Take them in and out. Last one. Bring them in and press them out. Now, this time when you press them out, I want you to hold. The legs are at 90 degrees. You can let go of your legs and your hands are either down at your sides or they're in cactus pose, or maybe they're underneath your hips, okay? So keep those legs at a really nice 90-degree angle. Tone your belly and tap one heel to the floor and then the other. So it's this weird kind of marching in place, right? But the belly is toned. We're doing some core work here. Your arms, if they're in cactus, it's a little bit harder to keep yourself grounded. If they're down at your sides or underneath the hips, it's a little bit gentler. So just find your pose. Here we go. Press your back toward the floor. Don't forget to breathe. Good. You can go a little faster. That's it. Keep it going. Keep it going. I know. Hang in there. Let's do 10 more. Here's 10, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, and 1. Good. Draw both knees to chest. Woo. Feet go wide on your yoga mat. Take them wide. Drop the knees to your right. Pause. Feel that nice stretch maybe through that left thigh, right? Maybe into the left side belly. Take them back up to center. Take them to the other side. Left side, just stretching out the right side belly as the knees go to the left. And center, go the other way. And center, go the other way. Oh, good. Next time they are to the right. Hold it there, everybody. Again, arms can be in cactus. The focus, right, is not only are the knees to the right, but the shoulder, the left shoulder presses down to the floor. We get this nice, beautiful stretch along the left side. Find your breath. Maybe the left arm goes overhead. Breathe. If you want a little bit more depth, your right heel goes to your left outer thigh. Just be mindful here. See how that feels for your body. See how it feels in your back. If it doesn't feel good, if it feels kind of yucky, then just take the foot off. You don't need that extra stretch. Good. Big deep breath, everybody. And then release the right heel if it is there. Squeeze in through your belly, bring the knees to center and go the other way. Remember, your feet are wide here if you can. If that hurts your knees, just bring them in closer, okay? But otherwise the knees are wide so that we can get into that kind of psoas upper thigh stretch that we're looking for. Maybe the right arm goes overhead. Your head, your neck are soft and comfortable. Breathe. And if it feels okay, left heel goes to right thigh. So we're coming in a little bit deeper. Use your breath, everybody. That's it. And then release that. Bring the knees back to center. Take the feet back to Badakanasana. So the soles of the feet come back together and pause and just feel that, right? So maybe it feels better, maybe it feels the same, hopefully not worse. And bring those knees together. Finally, grab your strap. So you've got your strap and it's nice. The loop is nice and wide. Take both feet up into your strap and take the feet wide. So you've got a big wide strap. How wide you go is up to you, right? So you can see I've got mine pretty wide and I'm pressing my feet out into the strap. If this is really hard for you or you find that it's hard to hold the legs, either bend the knees or don't make the strap quite so wide. It's okay, right? So we're working the inner thighs. I'm pressing out against the strap. My pelvis is neutral. So see if you can find that. It's a little bit tricky, right? So pelvis neutral means you've got a tiny space behind your lower back. It's really easy for me to bring my legs up higher and lose the curve of the lower back. So I just want to see if I can keep a little bit of space there, just so I'm working with both the spinal alignment and the legs. Push against the strap, everybody. That's it. And then grab one end of your loop or the loop that's closest to you and pull that strap down until your legs come together. So now you've got both legs straight up. They're both together. I want you to press into that strap, pull down on the strap. Big stretch for the back of the legs. Good, breathe. That's it. And then hold the strap enough to resist the legs going wide again. So take the legs wide, but just create a little resistance on the strap. And then once you're wide, let go of the strap again. That's it. And then grab that closest part of that loop and pull, but resist with the legs. So we're kind of working inner outer thighs as you resist, but you're pulling, resist, but pull, resist, but pull, and then those feet come back together. That's it. One more right here. So we're just playing with a little bit of resistance. So slide the feet out, but create some resistance with the strap so it doesn't float out so easily. And then once it goes wide, yeah, tell me if you're not feeling those hips working at this point. Squeeze out through your strap, everybody. Maybe press the heels out and then grab that closest part of your loop, resist. And if you still have your socks on like me, you get even more resistance. Pull, but resist, pull, but press out at the same time. Keep pulling, keep pulling, keep pulling. Good. And then the feet are together. They're both around the loop. Leave your left foot in the loop. Take the right foot out, float it down until it's just a few inches off the floor. Soft grip with the strap. I can tend to grab too tight and then I wonder when my fingers hurt or they're all white, right? So press and then squeeze into your belly. Slowly lift your right leg back up, hook it into your strap, take the left leg out and float it down until it's almost to the floor. Squeeze your belly. We're almost done here. And then float the left leg back up. Press it back into your strap. Hold, and then just release your strap. So both legs are straight up. You can even take the strap off your feet now because you're not going to use it. Take both legs out nice and wide. I'm hitting a wall, so I can't go any further. And then bring the legs back to center. Cross your right knee on top of your left. So the legs have just crisscrossed. Bend your knees and bring your knees toward your chest. Oh yeah, stretching out that outer right hip. Breathe. Some of you are going to stay right here. Some of you are going to slide your hands down your shins and separate your feet one away from the other. Deeper stretch. It's just a variation of cow face legs. That's it. And then release those heels. Straighten the legs. The legs are crisscrossed. Uncross them, recross them. Bend the knees again. Bring them in toward chest. Now your left knee is closest to you. Yep. Stretch it out. Just breathe. And then slide those hands down your shins. If you can grab your heels, great. If you can only grab the shins or the ankles, that's great. Just feel the stretch. If you're getting a stretch in your outer left hip, you are just fine. So don't worry about it. And release, take the legs up, undo them, take both knees to your chest, roll over to one side and press yourself up. Ooh, yeah. That was some good stretching. And from there, I want you to come right to table pose, right to table pose. A little irritated. Rooshy gooshy. All right. So spread the fingers out nice and wide. You know what to do here, right? And often we'll take our thumbs kind of way out to the sides. Don't bring them out quite so far. Let them be part of the rest of the hands, if that makes sense. And then the tips of the fingers kind of claw in a little bit. The rack of knuckles, right at the base of the fingers, those kind of claw in a little bit. And then find that weight over the center of your hands, or the pressure at least over the center of the hands. Start here with a couple little cats and cows, just soft. Inhaling as you lift, exhaling as you curl. Good, maybe just one more. And exhale. And then come to a neutral spine. Press your right leg back. Tone the belly in, right? Those are the cues you hear every time. Lift your right leg and just hold. Point the toes down. Find your pose and then lift the leg just a little bit more. And exhale, bring that knee to chest. Inhale, press out, maybe lift up a little. And as you exhale, squeeze that knee in toward chest. Good. 3 more. Lift up. Exhale it in. Reach out with your inhale. Exhale it in. We got one more, just one more. Inhale, lift. Exhale, squeeze it into your chest. Now, listen up. To bring this foot forward from here is not easy. I'm going to suggest that you bring your right hand in toward the left a little bit, and then step the leg to the outside of your hand and see if that leg will come up a little bit easier. Once it's there, find your alignment. Take your hands to your knee. Sit back in your pose a little bit and curl the pelvis and find your left thigh stretch. And the top layer's coming off. Holy moly. That didn't take long at all to get warmed up. See, even when we're doing a more gentle class, it's easy to warm up. All right, so feel that nice stretch with the back quad, right? So if we're more or less straight up and down, we know this by now. This is a basic stretch we do. We're going to feel that stretch in the quadricep a little bit more. And as we exhale, maybe we feel a little bit different stretch. Good, one more. Just straighten it up. Watch the knees. And exhale, press it down. Hands come back to the floor. Try that again if you want. Take the right hand to the inside and see if the right leg will go kind of out wide to go back. Just something, it's just an option, okay? And then press your left leg back. Level out the hips, lift the leg, hold right here. Tone through the belly. I want you to inhale, maybe a slight higher lift. As you exhale, draw the knee to chest. Inhale, lift it up. Exhale, squeeze it in. Good, 3 more. Inhale, lift. Exhale, squeeze in. Inhale. Exhale it. Last one. Inhale, lift. Exhale, squeeze it in. Here we are again, that dilemma. Do we take the leg straight through, or do we walk the left hand in, step the left leg forward, then come to your alignment, and then take the hands to your knee? Once you find that, come off that front foot a little bit, right? So that your back leg is pretty much straight up and down. Just feel that stretch of the quadricep. And breathe. Shoulders are soft. We find our breath. And then slowly we bend in. We straighten up. One more. Bend in. And straighten up. Good. And then take your hands to the floor. Think about it. If you want, left hand in. Left leg goes back. Pause in table pose. And when you're ready, I want you to take the right leg forward. See how you want to do it, right? So it really so much depends on how those hips are built, right? Truly how they're built, how the thigh bone goes into the hip socket, all of that stuff. So some of you can come from a table pose and bring that leg forward pretty much straight through. Others have to go nice and wide to get that hip to move around in that plane because we don't have space right behind us. Kind of what I'm looking at. All right, so your right foot 90 degrees. Lift your left knee off the floor. Hold. Find that high lunge. Make sure your feet are separated enough that you feel balanced. Take your hands to your knee and lift up. Find your high lunge. Squeeze through your back glutes. Press back away from your front leg a little bit so that you feel a ton of weight in your front heel. And then press your back heel back and just hold. So we've been playing with this principle of putting more of the weight in the heel than in the toes, right? It's a soft difference, a subtle difference here, but that heel weight works these hamstrings, creates a little bit more balance. So we see if we can find that. Maybe the arms go up, maybe not. Find your breath. Breathe. Good. Exhale, hands come down to your knee, back to the floor, listen up. Grab your blocks. Hopefully you had them right there where you could get them. And then straighten your front leg. So your front leg, again, that's a relative thing. It depends on if your hamstrings are warmed up or not. What I want you to do is lift your front toes if you can. So you can see mine are lifted up. And then dig your heel into the floor and breathe. You can be on your blocks at any height, any level. If you want to take them up a little bit higher, that's okay. Keep the shoulders wide. Press into your heel. And then imagine you could lift that heel off the floor. Like that, you can't, right? If you could, I want your autograph. But just the muscles that are required to try to get that leg to lift. It's like really weird. And then lower the foot, lower or bend the knee, lower the knee, right? Sit back in your lunge, straighten the front leg. And then bend your front knee and release, right? So we're switching sides. You'll notice here, if you have your hands on blocks, we get more height. We slide that leg around and we go to the other side, left foot forward. Find your breath. Right? Legs are hips width apart. Betty, you're narrow there. You can feel it. Yep. Flip your toes under, lift your knee. Hold your pose. Squeeze those inner thighs. Slowly take your hands to your knee. Once your hands are to your knee, press up. Breathe. Notice. And then press the weight back into your front heel a little bit. You might even lessen that 90 degrees, right? So it's that front knee is not quite as bent straight up and down as it is normally. You should be able to free up your toes a little bit on the front foot, right? Once you're there, if you're comfortable, press through the back heel. Take the arms up. That's it. And then hands to knee. Lower your chest, hands to blocks, straighten your front leg. Once your front leg is straight, take the toes off the floor so you're just in your heel. And then look at that, right? Is your heel straight? Is your foot straight, right? Those are little details. And then press down through the heel and feel that kind of muscle work. And then imagine you could lift your leg off the floor. Like lift, lift, lift. Oh man, there's so much happening in those hip flexors and the thigh, and then release that. Lower your toes, bend your front knee, lower your other knee, straighten your front leg just for a second, and then bend it again and slide your left leg back to meet your right. Set your blocks aside, plant your hands. Tone the belly, flip your toes under, squeeze the inner thighs toward each other, lift your knees an inch or two off the floor, and breathe. Don't unbend your knees, keep them bent as best you can. Now, if that hurts, of course, straighten it, but then take your upper body into down dog. So just the upper body, you're pressing away with the hands, you're holding on to that imaginary beach ball. Your legs are getting a ton of work here, and then float back toward your wrists. Table pose without the knees, right? And then one more time, float back, arms straighten, the whole upper body feels like down dog. Press into your hands, engage your back, slowly straighten the legs. See if you can find 50% of the weight in those legs. That's it. Find your breath. And then inhale, tippy toes. Lower the knees to the floor. Press your right leg back. Find your breath, everybody. Tone your belly, lift the leg. Find that. Notice. Good. So it's going to get a little tricky here. We're coming into, I call this pose quarter moon. So we're going to kickstand out our left leg at the same time the right leg turns to the side. Take a look at your left hand, bring it forward, line it up with the shoulder and see if you can turn to your side. If that's really hard, I want you to take your right foot to the floor. Otherwise, we're working with this outer hip. Your upper glute is active. Your bottom knee, bottom hip are pretty well stacked up on top of each other. And you can take that right arm up. Big deep breath. Yep. Good. Lower your right hand to the floor. Unkickstand. Lower your leg. You got it, everybody. Tone the belly. Take the left leg out. Level out your hips. You're going to kickstand your right foot out. Move and shift the right arm so it feels comfortable. Left leg is already lifted. Left arm comes up. Glute active, belly active. Reach through that extended leg. Find your breath. As you're ready, you're going to release. So take the hand to the floor, unkickstand, level it back out, and lower the knee. Shake it out. Let's do that one again. So, right, so normally we would take the foot to the floor and then we would open up. This one requires more balance. Tone the belly, take the right leg out. Find this half part, right? This is really half a balancing table. So find that. Kickstand out. Adjust your left hand so that it is comfortably in front of your left shoulder. Open up the hips and take the arm up. And breathe. That's it. Take that top hand to your hip, and one, you're here. Two, you're going to see if you can bring your knee to your chest and then press it out. Good. Just two more. Bring it in. Bring it out. Last one. Squeeze it in. Squeeze it out. Take your hand to the floor. Level out your hips. Lower your knee. One more. Other side. Press the left leg out. Lift the leg. Kickstand out. If I don't move my right hand, I'm going to feel real funky. So I have to move it In a little for me and forward a little, so that when I turn to the side, the arm is in alignment. Here we are. Find your breath. And then take your hand to your hip, knee to chest for 3. 1 and 2. Woo. And 3. Woo, yeah. Release that hand back up. Take it to the floor. Unkickstand. Lower your knee and come into child's pose. And just breathe, everybody. Now, you know, of course, right? Child's pose. If your body does not do child's pose, then find a different way to just rest for a moment. Big deep breath. All right, come on up. That's enough rest. Come on back to table pose. Flip your toes under, tone your belly. Lift the knees a couple of inches. We were already here. You can do it. You can do it. Take the upper part of your body to down dog, right? The arms stretch, the shoulders are integrated. We're pressing through those heels or those toes, right? So we're reaching back, straighten the legs. Just pedal the feet, shake it out. Now, 1, you're here. 2, you're gonna come to your knees and do the same thing. Or 3, lift your right leg. On your exhale, knee comes to chest and the chest goes over your wrist. Inhale, lift the leg. Exhale, float forward. This is 3, take it up. Exhale, take it in. 2 more. Lift up. Exhale, take it in. Come on, one more. Lift up. Exhale, squeeze it in. Listen up. You got to step forward. Forward right leg. Once that right leg is forward, lower your knee. Hands to knees, lift chest. Take the arms up. Exhale, hands to the floor. Straighten your front leg. Maybe take your toes with you. Bend the knee. Plant your hands, lift your leg. Maybe blocks, maybe not. For this variation of pyramid pose where the front leg straightens but the back leg is long, I like blocks. It just takes the pressure off the upper body so that I can focus on the hips and on that front leg. Press the weight into your front heel, lift your toes. Try to lift your heel off the floor. Oh yeah. Breathe. And then lower, bend your knees. Knee. Blocks can come out of the way. Now, choice here again, just switch sides because we're coming back to down dog. Or from here, step back, downward facing dog. There went my sock. Stay. Pedal it out. You got it. Woo! Shake it out, everybody. And when you're ready, good strong pose here. And you know you can come to knees and do the leg out and into chest. You don't have to do it from down dog. If you can and if you want to, here we go. Left leg up. As you exhale, knee in, float toward the wrist. Upper body strength. Inhale, lift. Exhale up. Inhale, lift your leg. Exhale, float forward. 2 more. Lift up. Exhale forward. Last one. Didn't I say this was going to be a gentle class? and float forward. And then step forward best you can. Once you're there, lower your right knee. Take your hands to your knee. Float the arms up. Breathe. That's it. Exhale, hands to the floor, straighten the front leg. Take your toes with you. Breathe. Bend the knee, plant your foot, hands to blocks. Make sure your blocks are fully on your mat. Lift the knee, straighten the front leg. Whew. Just breathe, everybody. Flex your foot so that your whole foot's off the floor except for that heel. And then imagine lifting that heel off the floor. Yep, keep it going. And release, bend your knee, lower your other knee, holy moly. Release both legs back. And either child's pose or hero pose. Shake out the hands, shake out the wrists. Find your breath. Oh, yeah. Just roll it out, everybody, right? It's all good. We bring whatever we can bring to class each day, right? Each day you are new. Each day we have another opportunity. And we bring our fullest selves to class or to whatever we do. And that's different every day. My fullest self today with a little achy back is different than the one yesterday or Sunday. So we do our best, right? Find your breath, everybody. There you go. See, doesn't that feel better? You just like, ooh, you reset. All right, come on up. Table pose to downward facing dog. When you're ready, take your feet wide on your mat. Walk those hands back, bend your knees. Take your hands to your knees and come on up to standing all the way and shake it out. Oh. Shake, 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 right? Roll it out, shake it out, find your breath. And then grab one of your blocks and place that block between your thighs so that your feet are parallel to each other. Inhale, reach up. Exhale, hands to heart. Just come into a little squat, and then right away, I want you to take your hands to your knees, right? And I'm going to walk my feet in some because I felt like my knees were curling in. So sometimes that block can throw us off a little bit. And then lengthen your tailbone. We're not doing chair pose here. You're bending to your ability, okay? So if this hurts your knees, keep it softer. Lengthen through the tailbone and tone the belly, but all I want you to do is push down into your feet. Like push, push, push. And then from that push, stand up. From that push, inhale the arms up. From there, keep that push into the floor, hands to heart. Bend the knees any amount. Press your hands down to the knees. Spread the toes, feel your pinky sides, feel your big toe sides, feel the heels. Sit back in the hips a little bit so you're heavy in the heels. Tone the belly, push down to stand up. Inhale the arms up. Exhale to your heart. Squeeze the heck out of your block. Squeeze, squeeze, squeeze. And release it, shake it out. Take that block out. Set your block down. Open up those shoulders. Good. And then we're just coming to a simple tree pose, okay? So I always say simple because it is one of the basic balance poses that we do. We can come to a wall, but tree pose can get so intricate if we want to play. So I want you to land on, I'm going to mirror here. So you decide which foot, or you go left while I'm on my right since I'm mirroring, and take your leg into tree pose. Now we know, right? Some of us are not bringing our knee up this high. We're not bringing our foot up this high. We can walk it down the leg wherever we want, and then squeeze in that side hip wherever you are. And I want you to pause here. If you have a hand to the wall, that's awesome. Squeeze in the outer hip, squeeze in the outer glute, and see if you can find the weight in your whole entire standing foot. Take your hands to your heart. Find your still point someplace in front of you. Tone the belly. Both hips are pointing forward, right? So don't worry about where the knee is, worry about where the hips are. Don't worry about that either, but point them forward and breathe. Now, think about pressing that foot strongly into the floor. You're going to make a dent in your yoga mat. And from there, goodness gracious, from there, release the hands up and out. As if the hands lift because the foot grounds more. Press the inner thigh into your foot or the inner leg into your foot. Slowly bring the hands back and release your pose. Shake it out. Balance work. We gotta do it. We gotta do it every day. Something, even if it's just one foot off, one foot on. Do it, do it, do it, do it. Okay. Let's switch sides. Shift into your other foot. Ground that foot, all four corners of that foot. Take your other leg where it makes sense for you. Once it's there, squeeze in that outer hip. Take your hands to your heart. Just pause. You don't have to go any further. You can just find your balance here. Tone the belly in. Press that inner thigh into your foot. Press your foot back in, woo, into your thigh. When you're ready, grounding that foot down, imagine that that is allowing you to raise the arms up. You can tell this is not my stronger side. It's learning though. It's getting it. Breathe. And slowly, 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 slowly bring them back. And release it. It doesn't help that I talk all the way through tree, right? So you're like, oh, focus. Focus, everybody. All right, come on back to your mat. Take your feet wide on your yoga mat. Press the feet out isometrically. So you're pulling the feet out, you're pressing the knees out. Bend your knees, take your elbows to your knees if you can. Keep pressing your feet out. I want you to feel the outer hips working to keep those legs pressing out. Think about what we did with the strap when the strap was around our feet and we were pressing against it when we were laying down, okay? So similar muscles here. This should feel okay on your knees and on your back. And if it doesn't, then change something, okay? Use your breath. Just hold. Press all four corners of those feet in. Keep trying to drag those feet out. Good, release. Take your hands all the way to the floor. Step back to downward facing dog. Shake it out, bend it out. Lower down to your knees, everybody. Ooh, yeah. And then come to a seat. That's it. Grab your strap. You're going to make sure your strap has that big old loop in it. And then take the strap around your body. And take that strap up around your shoulder blades. It's under your armpit. And then the other end of that strap, is going to go around your feet. And it's going to seem weird for a moment. And make sure the strap is big and that you may have to adjust the strap at some point. So right now, your knees are bent, your feet are in your strap. Keep your knees bent, press into your strap, and just lift your chest. Just lift your chest away from your knees, right? You're leaning heavy into your strap and feel that, right? And then notice how that strap pulls the shoulder blades down. It pulls the ribs down into the center of the body. From here, I want you to see if you can lean back and lift your legs any amount. If the strap is tight enough, you can straighten the legs to do boat pose. If it's not tight enough, you might wobble a whole bunch. So you got to find that sweet spot. You can have the knees bent, you can have the legs straight. Your arms can float out, right? Do whatever the arms want to do. Press your feet into the strap. Keep the chest lifted. Yep, you got it. Really sweet way to do boat pose. If I don't have the strap, it's hard for me to straighten my legs. But here I can just open the chest, relax that head, neck, and find boat pose. Hold your strap. Pull the strap in to release it down. Good job, everybody. Take the strap out from under you. Good. And then come to a seat again. All I want you to do is take your right leg out to the side, your left leg in, unless the knee doesn't allow that, okay? If your left knee is way up, maybe you put a block under it, but you can take that even at an, a really soft angle. I know a couple of my darlings out there who have the crunchy, the knee stuff that they don't like to bend like that. Toes point up, inhale, reach up. You're gonna take, so if your left leg is bent and your right leg is straight, okay, just so we're straight, you're gonna take that bent knee side's arm down. You're gonna reach over and see if you can find your stretch. Either the left arm is straight, or it's bent a little, or it's on the floor. All of those are okay. How's it feel in your body? So we're doing a weird little side stretch here, opening up that hip, seeing if we can use a little bit of gravity to make that happen. And then push off that hand, take both arms up. Exhale, take your right arm down if that's your straight leg, and take the left arm over. That's it. Inhale up. Hands come to the floor in front of you. Walk the hands forward as the hips reach back. Don't have to go far here, okay? This is half butterfly. Walk the hands forward a little bit more. The elbows are soft to the floor, so don't have the elbows cranking out. Just let them be soft and heavy. I'm not going to go far here at all because I want to just make sure my low back can handle it. Right? When we get these little twinges and things, the secret is to love our bodies, to honor them the best we can. You got to keep moving, but just to really just pay attention, right? Just pay attention and go, yeah, that's enough of that. Good. Slide on up, everybody. Bend your right leg and straighten your left leg. Again, find your pose for you. And notice. Inhale, reach the arms up. Exhale, your right hand goes to the floor, that elbow softens, and you stretch through your whole left side. Make sure your head is in alignment. I don't need you looking up at your hand. If your neck hurts, you can look down at your elbow, but try to keep it neutral, if anything, where your arm is pretty close to your ear is closer to your arm. Your chin is level. Stretch it out, everyone. And then push into your hand to lift up. Take the other arm up. Take your left hand down. and stretch over to that side. That's it. That should feel good. Should feel kind of yummy, right? Inhale up. Exhale the hands right in front of you. Think about it. Open up the shoulders. Maybe walk the hands forward. Neutral spine for most of us. That's it. Just breathe, everybody. All we got to do, right? We got to get up and we got to breathe. Everything else is icing on the cake. Breathe. And then press all the way up. Good. And just bring both legs forward for a second. Here's our last little kind of pose for the day before we come on to our backs. You got your strap again, and I want you to take it around your back. You need to be able to adjust it, so have your tail end where you can get to it. You're going to take those legs back to Baddhakonasana, or bring them in, take the strap around your feet, and then take the feet. Let's see, I'm making this harder than it needs to be. So your legs are going to go to Badakanasana. The strap is not in your low back. I'm pointing to you, not in your low back, but down at your sacrum. And then it wraps around the bottom of your feet. So you've made a loop basically from the pinky sides of your feet back up to the top. And then you're going to tighten your strap so that you feel the snugness of the strap around the feet down to the hips. And I do mean down around the hips, okay? If this is in your low back, you're going to not be happy about that later. So I like mine really tight, but again, your knees are your knees, right? Your hips are your hips. So you don't have to bring the legs in this far. They can be out here where there's not so much compression, and you can still get the strap nice and low down at the hips, right? My strap is below the crest of my hips. And then you're just gonna sit. You can lean back into the strap a little bit. You can feel that back there. Your torso is nice and tall. Your hands can be on your knees. They can be in your lap. If your knees are super high up and you want a little bit more support, you take blocks underneath your knees. Wherever you are is good. So this is a bound Badakanasana. Breathe. And just kind of feel it, right? I just lifted my hips and scooted my hips back a little bit because I felt like I was leaning back too much. So I just put a little bit of an anterior tilt back into my pelvis so that I can stay here and actually feel the bind a little bit more. I hope you could follow that one. It's always tricky when we're doing things that I can't see you and know that you got it where it is. But I think this one's pretty easy to figure out. And then just breathe, right? Just feel like, Bound poses in general, whether you're binding with your hands or with straps, tend to contain energy. And so if we close our eyes and we kind of think of this containment of the energy, you can even put thumb and index fingers together. You can soften the shoulders. And whenever I do this, I kind of think of the blood circulating in this gorgeous circle around my body. I think of energy circling around my body. Maybe we can picture light circling through our bodies. That's it. A few more breaths right here. All right. So easiest is to see if you can get a little bit of a loosening of the strap first, okay? And then take it out from the feet and then take it out from around you. And we're going to do a kind of a restorative pose from here. And I'm going to explain what we're doing. If you have a blanket, in fact, I'm going to throw my sweater back on because I think I'm going to cool down. So if you have a blanket, take the blanket toward the bottom edge of your mat where your feet are going to go, but keep it so that it's kind of long. And what it's going to look like, we're doing Badakanasana again. So when we put our feet together, I want the tail end of your blanket to come over and around underneath, like you've just tucked your feet in. And it's lifted the ankles, right, a little bit off the floor. Then you're going to take your blocks, whether you need them or not, and you're going to find purchase, and you may have to change this once we lay down. You're going to find purchase either under your knee or, for a lot of us, under some part of the thigh. My heels are not close to my glutes, okay? But your feet are nice and tucked. And then grab your strap. Final. And you're going to take the strap around those hips again, and you're going to snug that baby up. So you're going to snug. Now keep the buckle in a place where it is not going to hurt something. So you don't want the buckle on bone, right? I have it at the soft low belly. And you want it pretty snug so that you can barely get a finger in there, but not so snug that it cuts off your blood supply. So what we have just done, one, we have contained the feet, we have supported the knees, and we are supporting the hips and the SI joints by using the strap around. Now, don't be surprised that when we lay down that you're going to have to maybe do a little bit of adjusting again, but you should be pretty good from here. All right, so trickiest part, laying down, right? With all this stuff happening. So gently lay down, adjust your blocks, maybe tighten your strap if it feels loose. Your feet are contained. My hands for me are going to rest on my inner thighs. For you, they might be on the floor or on your belly again, which is also really sweet. And then feel your whole body settle down into the mat. Everything about this should feel good. Even if you need a minute for your body to settle, there shouldn't be a big arch in your back. We've got the knees higher and we've got the ankles higher. You should be able to just like really let the weight of the legs fall into the blocks. And that's important because a lot of times we think, oh, I want a little more stretch, but I'm hoping that you will let go of the need for a little more stretch and let this be a very restorative pose. If you have something that you want to cover your eyes with, that's awesome. Make sure you're warm enough. So if you feel chilly, just pop up and put something else on. And then close your eyes. Maybe your hands are resting on your belly and just find your breath again. Just breathe. And find something about yourself that you absolutely love. Like you love your quirkiness, you love your hair, you love your artistic nature, you, whatever it is, you love your compassion, you, whatever it is about you, seriously, sweetly, what do you love about yourself? Just think about that for a moment. And then picture someone in your life that you are close to. It could be a friend, it could be a spouse, a child, a pet, truly anything that you feel especially close to. And it might be more than one person, but we don't have time for all of them, right? So just picture something about that person or that animal that you love and cherish. Just one person, one animal. And then picture the city that you are in, and one thing about that particular city that you are in right now, one thing that you absolutely love about it. And then picture the entire world. Whether that picture of the world is from an atlas or from the space station or from your spot on view, picture and think one thing you love about the earth, about the world in which we live. And then picture a beautiful place. Maybe it's a waterfall or a forest or a beach or a mountain or your own yard. Picture your own home, whether it is exactly the way you want it or not, and smile at this amazing ability to have a place to be and to rest. And then finally, picture your own heart. And with each breath, that heart expands out to all of the other things that you just pictured in your mind's eye. The person, the place, the city, the world, all of it. Each breath. And then let go of that meditation, a variation of the metta prayer, and come into your Shavasana. And so the option is to stay here or possibly to just take the blocks out. Don't worry about the blanket, don't worry about the strap. See if you can straighten the legs and come into a Shavasana of your choosing. And in Shavasana, we simply breathe in and breathe out. And from wherever you are, if you are ready, if your legs are still, if your knees are still out to the side, draw the knees back to center. If your legs are straight, go ahead and bend your knees. And just let your feet come to the floor for a moment. And then slowly draw one knee to your chest and then the other. You can loosen your strap if your strap is still tight. And then roll the knees over to one side or the other. Curl over to fetal pose. And then press all the way back up to your seated pose. Bring your hands to your heart, everyone. Bow to your own inner heart, inner wisdom, inner voice. Let us honor that and spread the love. Namaste.